Alright guys, we're going to do a deck profile for my Yu Yu Hakusho Team Genkai deck. So we're going to just jump right into it. A lot of you may have never played this game. I'll kind of explain it a little more as I go. But first of all, the way deck works is you may or may not have a team bonus. This is my team bonus, Team Genkai. And let's get into my team. Your team consists of 4 starting characters and 1 potential 5th character, which would be in your deck. But your four characters start out in the area. We're using Team Genkai right here, but obviously this is the Team Genkai symbol. But our first character, he just wishes he was on Team Genkai. I got Rando, the demonic spirit. He is what I always start with because the Team Genkai bonus is when one of your characters with the Team Genkai kit symbol enters the arena, you search your deck for a technique and put it into your hand. Since we're starting out with this character, he's already in the arena, doesn't matter, his effect's even better. Quick learner, discard a card, search for 2 techniques and add them to your hand. Discard a card, search for 2 techniques. So this deck's all about techniques and little intricate combos you can do with techniques. Alright, so next character we got Kiyoshi Mitora, I think? I don't know. We have him because he has the effect Drop of Blood, which is basically the same thing as the Team Genkai bonus. When this character enters the arena, search your deck for a technique. So you basically search for 2 techniques when he enters the arena. So first match, search for as many techniques as we can with Rando. Second match, he comes in and we get 2 more techniques, and then by that time we're going to be Combo City, which I'll go into the combos when we get into the deck. Third character is Genkai herself, Genkai the Wise Master. Her effect is when she enters the arena, she instead searches your discard pile for a technique and attaches it to herself without paying any spirit energy. This is really good. I didn't ever have this on my original Team Genkai deck because when I played Team Genkai it was way before Alliance came out, with Alliance being the set that, well, really Betrayal started breaking the game and Exile even, but Alliance was the final set and it was just completely broken. Every card in that set just really broke the game. This deck is actually completely irrelevant because it doesn't win on the first turn, and when Alliance was a thing, basically everyone was playing a first turn kill deck. But that's boring, so we're doing Team Genkai. So when she enters the arena, you add a technique from your discard pile and equip it to her without paying the spirit. The 4th and final member is Mitora the Mind Reader. He's also Team Genkai, so you have to have 3 matching symbols on the characters to get the team bonus. He's our weakest member, but he has a sideline effect, so while he's not our fighter, he's just sitting chilling, we get this extra effect, which is your opponent must play with his hand face up on the table. So you constantly get to see your opponent's hand, helping you play around any strategies they have. This guy's not really going to do anything for us when he's in the arena, but hopefully he doesn't have to do anything except just sit back and get us some knowledge on our opponent, and we'll see what they're playing. So because if our opponent plays this card called Halt, it can really mess up our combos. So I'll go over that later. So that was the team here. We got Mind Reader, Genkai, Naruto, and Rando. So let's go into the actual deck here now. This card is a searcher, so it's kind of like our team bonus. It works with our team bonus. It says if you have the Team Genkai bonus, you can search for this card at setup and put it into your winner's circle, and then basically you just get the extra effect. Whenever you play a technique from your hand during this turn, you get 1,000 extra points of attack until you play a technique from your hand, you gain 1,000 attack for this turn. So basically the turn you're going to kill your opponent, you spam a bunch of techniques, you get a bunch of attack, and you kill your opponent. It's not that good, but there is a combo I'll talk about with that later. But yeah, moving on to the deck, we have one more Searcher card. I'll just proxy that for now. Here, I can show it to you. I don't have it right now because I wasn't able to get it just yet. This card, Ultimate Sacrifice. During setup, you may search for this card, put it into the winner cycle face up. Your attacks gain 5,000, and your attack cost is -1. And if you don't, at the end of your 5th turn, you lose the game. So you got to pretty much win the game as fast as you can with that. I'm pretty sure I want to run this card in the deck. I mean, it's like pretty much everyone's running it, so that's why, you know, the game's going to end by the 5th turn anyway. But this deck does have the option to stall, which I'll talk about later too. But this version doesn't really focus on stalling, so I'm definitely wanting to run this. Back to the deck here. Alright, so that's our team bonus, which is Genkai. Alright, so starting with the deck, we have 1 Meditation, 2 Spirit Energy Release. I play this amount of cards because this is all I have of these. These are really good. All they do is gain you 2 Spirit Energy. This is a really expensive card. I want to give a shout out to Magical Yada. This card is actually damaged. I don't know if you can see it. Right along here. So he gave it to me for basically nothing. Because it's actually cut in half at the bottom there and taped back together. But you know, I'm just using it for this deck profile, so it's good to have this card. This card's also kind of up there, but it's a little bit easier to get. Gain 2 Spirit Energy. I could use a 3rd one of these, or a 2nd one of these, but definitely. So I use this instead. Both players gain 2 Spirit Energy, so it does the same thing, except it gives some Spirit Energy to your opponent, which ain't that bad. Next up, let's get into some combo cards. I use 2 Devastating Combinations. What this card does is it lowers the Spirit Energy cost of all your techniques by -1, and then when you use this attack, you can copy the printed value of another attack. So I use Piercing Beam, which has got 30,000 attack, one of the highest technique attacks in the game. It doesn't cost anything to play. It costs 10 Spirit Energy to use this, which you'll probably never ever do, because 10 Spirit Energy is the max. Really hard to get that in this deck. So instead, you just for the cost of nothing, again, you can use this to copy this, and your attack's 3,400. So really good for comboing with our other card, which we'll get into a lot later here. But it's basically Overwhelming Kill, where if your attack's over 4 times your opponent's defense, it can do 4 points of damage. And I didn't really go over that, but each character can take 4 points of damage. If you gotta have your attack over the defense, it'll do 1 point of damage. If it's double, it'll do double. You can't do triple unless the card says otherwise, and in order to do 4 times the damage, you have to have the Overwhelming Kill card. So yeah, that's how this combo works. It's the main combo I use for this deck, though it's not necessarily the only combo. There are plenty of others, but this is just what I played way back in the day before the game was completely broken, so it's one of my favorites. Next up, we play a Scattershot. This card can also combo really well. It allows you to attack your opponent's sideline characters. Your fighter's defense must be higher than your opponent's defense, and then you can use this attack a 2nd time. If used a 2nd time, you can attack one of your opponent's sidelines characters. So in combination with this Piercing Beam, you can use this other broken card, which I didn't have back in the day because it was Alliance, and I didn't play Alliance really back in the day. I mean, I did. I just immediately quit the game after that because it was so broken. Anyway, this does the same thing Overwhelming Kill does. It has 2 effects. You can pay 3 to make it do Overwhelming Kill's effect, or you can, let's see. No, actually, you pay 3 to give it basically give it this effect where you can copy some other card's attack. So this technique would copy this damage, and then you pay a total of 7, and you can do Overwhelming Kills effects. So basically you can kill your opponent and take out one of their sideline characters. Really broken. That's why this card and all Alliance cards should be either banned or limited to 1, in my opinion, because Alliance was broken. But we're just playing for fun, so here's what we're doing here next. I got 3 aerial kicks because this deck desperately needs draw power. We don't have a lot of it because we're playing so many techniques. Aerial kick kind of helps with cycling through our cards. What it does is when it enters the field, you can send up to 3 cards from your hand to the discard pile and then draw that many cards. Again, with our bonus here, we can just keep cycling out techniques, get a little extra attack, but mostly we're going through our deck. Now the stall card, we only stall in the first match with rando if we deem it necessary. Again, we get the hand knowledge from our opponent, and we can make a lot of intelligence decisions with this. This is a real 5-head deck. So we got Battle Aura. When I use this attack, my opponent can not only do a max of 1 point of damage to my character on their next turn, so I might do 1 point or 2 points of damage with this, and then my opponent can only do 1 point of damage, basically making the first match last a little longer, so that I can fish out more combo pieces. Now, this is important that we go first. It's important that you go first with pretty much every deck in this format, because this game is crazy. Going first is so important. In fact, if you go second, your character can immediately die because you can attack on the first turn in this game, and if that happens, that really sucks. And yeah, so one of the things is you can immediately die. So the next card we play is a little bit more stall here, is a Spear of Protection. Basically, when I know I'm about to kill my opponent, I make sure I have enough spirit energy to pay for this and equip it face down to one of my next characters coming up. When this flips up, I can pay 4 spirit energy plus the 1 cost it costs, so a total of 5, to prevent my opponent from attacking at all on their next turn. So yeah, I basically use my combo, do 4 points of damage. The match is over, the next match starts, this comes in, says my opponent can't attack. I'm going to have another combo ready to kill him again, and that's how that goes. For some defense and offense, we use Thumb Block and Handstand Kick. Thumb Block gives you a butt ton of defense, Handstand Kick gives you a butt ton of attack. I could play more of each of these, but it's not really needed because honestly, I really don't need this Handstand Kick at all because our attack's almost always over 4 times the defense. But just in case it's not, this will give us an extra 3,000 attack. With this, it gives it an extra 4,000, so good to have. This is something I use if I don't have a Spear Protection. I'll usually equip it to one of my face down guys or use it in the beginning of the match with the Aura Spear here to make it really hard for my opponent to do damage to me. Yeah, really good card. Alright, that's it for the techniques. We play a butt ton of techniques. Next up, we got events, which are the green cards. Because we always know what our opponent has in their hand, I play 1 copy of Code, which I declare a card type, look at my opponent's hand. If my opponent has more cards of that chosen card type in their hand than any other cards, they discard all cards of the chosen type. So basically, I'll always call the right thing as long as I have Mind Reader in play, and just use that to control my opponent's hand. Then I play Faces of Sensory, more spirit energy gain. Next up, I play the Draw Power Engine, Burst of Power, Krama's Last Stand. Everyone is a hero in this deck except for Rando, so early game this isn't very good, but Rando, I'm just searching my deck for cards anyway, don't really need the draw power until a little later on. So again, I'm because of that I am struggling for draw power, with Burst of Power being really all of my draw power, so I added 1 Abduction. I draw 2 cards and then lose my team bonus until my next draw step. My team bonus doesn't really do anything until one of my characters enters the arena, so I can give it up for a turn in certain circumstances to draw a card. Next, I play 2 halts. I could easily play a 3rd halt, but I was just making room. This is a combo deck. Halt doesn't really do anything for me except for halting my opponent's halt, or any cards that I need to disrupt from them. Basically, with Mind Reader, I'll know how long I need to hold on to this halt or what I need to use it for, so I just run 2. Next, I have Substitute. I was debating taking this out. I actually took the I'm Calling You out of the deck because I didn't really need it. The Substitute I put in because there is a nice combo I can do at the beginning of the game. If I have my Rando out, use his effect to discard a card, add 2 techniques from my hand, then I can then play Substitute to switch one of my characters with one of my sideline characters. I'll switch for Maruto, whatever his name is, Miratari. When he comes into play, I search my deck for a technique, and then my team bonus kicks in, so I search for 2 more techniques. So searching for 4 techniques at the beginning of the game is really powerful in this deck. So that's a cool little combo. Next, I play a recuperation. I was debating not playing a recuperation, and then I did some little test plays, and then I'm like, okay, I could deck myself out really easy if I'm not careful. So I went ahead and put in the recuperation. Plus, I can put cards from that I need for my combo back into my deck, and then search them back out with one of my characters when they enter the arena with the Genkai team bonus. So that's good. Then I have Gale Force, Chant of Recollection, and Overwhelming Kill. Gale Force is limited to 1. I don't think Chant's limited to 1, so technically I could just play all Chants and no Overwhelming Kills, but again, I like to play pretending most Alliance cards are limited to 1, so even though I don't think this one is, so I use Overwhelming Kill also. These basically do the same thing, this just also allowing me the effect of the Devastating Combination all in one card. Gale Force is a broken card, probably most broken card in this deck. It lets you attack twice, so that's good, but then you can pay a little more and attack your opponent's sideline character, and if you pay all the way up, you can attack your opponent's sideline character twice. Actually, that's only cost you 6 spirit energy to attack your opponent's sideline character twice, which is stupid. As sideline attacking effects and damaging effects, in my opinion, was really bad for this game, because it's just gives you a huge advantage when you do something like if you defeat one of your opponent's sideline characters, basically they can't really do anything about that, and it's really strong. The other card I play, which I don't have a copy of either, let me find it here, is Yusuke's Fury, just another card that lets you attack twice. It's basically Gale Force, except not as broken, but still really broken. Attacking twice is really good, but attacking a sideline character twice is the definition of broken in this game, although not really, because in the actual World Championship decks, they just played some cheap combos that let you win on the first turn. They didn't even need to attack, so it's kind of crazy. Anyway, back to the rest of the deck here. We got a Challenge of Wills, Team Genkai support, and 3 entrapments. These are our Team Genkai bonus cards that are not really bonus cards. Well, Challenge of Wills is a staple. You can use this in every deck. Put a card from your discard pile into your hand, but then if you have the Team Genkai bonus, you can use this again by playing it from your discard pile and shuffling it back into your deck. So really good. You get to use that extra time with Team Genkai. Team Genkai support, if you have the Team Genkai bonus, you can choose 3 techniques from your discard pile, put them into your hand, so really good for getting your combo pieces back. And then for the rest of the match, your Team Genkai symbols get 500 defense for each card attached to them. Not really as important as the first part, but it is still free defense, pretty good. This card, Entrapment, is really good. We can run 3 of them, which is also really good. If you have the Team Genkai bonus, it just straight up gives you 3 spirit energy. And then you can search your deck or discard pile for any technique and attach it to one of your characters. So you can go back and equip a spirit energy gainer and basically gain 5 spirit energy right off of that. Or get one of your combo pieces. Really versatile card. Definitely want to run those at 3. Now we're moving on to the items. This is our last technique. Search your deck for an item, pay its spirit energy, and attach it to one of your fighters. Now, I only got 4 cards left in the deck, so I don't have that many items, so why would I want to do that? And that's because I play 2 Rubber Slams. I was running 3, not really necessary. There's, like I said, there's other ways to play this deck, and those other ways you would definitely want to play this at 3, so I might take all this out and not worry about the items. But yeah, what Rubber Slam does is it copies any technique in play. If you have the Team Genkai bonus, it can also copy any item as well. So basically you can use it to copy your spirit energy gainers or anything else you need it to copy. It can literally copy anything with Team Genkai, including a Forlorn of Hope, which is one of the best tutor cards for any card game ever made. It lets you search your deck for any card. This is what it does. So you can search your deck for those combo pieces. Like I said, we don't have a lot of draw power in this deck, so Forlorn of Hope, letting you search for any card you want, is really good. It does require you to deal your character 1 point of damage to do that. It does cost 2 spirit energy, so that's kind of a drawback. And then the last card is Steaming Spear. I didn't ever run this card back in the day, but then I looked at it. It says you can discard this item to search your discard pile for any technique and attach it to your character. So yeah, like, this isn't good at the beginning of the game, but by match 2 or 3 you can use this to get one of your combo pieces that's in the discard pile, because by that point in the game you pretty much have no techniques left in your deck. They're all in your discard pile, so get them back out. And that's it for the Team Genkai deck. Let me go into now, meditate, the other combos I was talking about, and then I'll show you the combos for this deck. So some other cards I took out was the Stall Engine is what I used in this deck. Let me find it. Was just a Battle Aura. It's a 1 card, stalls for a couple turns. There's another stall combo which I would use with Rando. Search for at the beginning, Rando. It's a Astro Keto's Territory and Shadow Control. You use Shadow Control, attach this, when you use this as a attack, attach this technique to your opponent's fighter. Its effect is, when attacking, this character must use this technique. This territory says your opponent cannot use techniques, and yeah, basically, which locks your opponent from attacking at all, which is the other version I was saying. If I don't play Ultimate Sacrifice and I want to stall out and just pretty much get all my combos right at the beginning, that's what I'd use. But obviously there's ways around it. Next up is a combo that I thought would be really broken, but it turns out it got rotted, but I want to show you it anyway. This card says whenever you play a technique, you get 1,000 attack. This card right here, Kami's Territory. Search your discard pile or your deck for a technique. For any card with Sensui in the title box or text box, and add that card to your hand. So you could use this for Faces of Sensui, get some spirit energy. But what you can't do, which is what a lot of people thought you could do, is search for this card, because it technically says Sensui in its own text box. So what you could do is, if you had 2 of them, attach it to your character, gain 1,000, discard it, search your deck for another one, attach it to your character, discard it, search your discard pile for another one, attach it to your character, and just cycle and get infinite attack. That would totally change how this deck would be played, but yeah, it doesn't work. This card cannot search for itself, so it sucks. But that's just something I wanted to tell you here. Let's go with the actual combos here. So yeah, I did the Devastating Combination combo. Let's actually just pretend like we are playing a match here. So we start with Rando. Beginning of the game, we'll say we're going first. We draw 4 cards. 2, 3, 4. I play Entrapment. Gain 3 spirit energy. Attach a card. Gain 2 more spirit energy. We haven't spent any spirit energy, so we're at 7 spirit energy. Use his effect. Discard a card. Search for 2 techniques. We would search for our stall card, and then like a combo piece. Alright. Then I would attach this. We had the card in play that says our attacks are -1, so we discard 1 to attack and maybe do a point of damage, but either way our opponent can only deal us 1 point of damage, so they'd go deal us 1 point of damage. Let's see, we were at 6 spirit energy, we go up to 8, draw 2. Yeah, and then from there we're just looking for our overwhelming kills and stuff like that. So let's see, we can keep thinning our deck. discard a Rubber Slam, gain up to 10 also from energy release. We get this and this because we got to start searching for our pieces here. Then we would use our attack again. We ain't ready to go all out, so actually, hold on. I will actually play substitute. That's probably a bad idea. Bring him out. Actually, no. What we could have done. And there's so many things you could do. Anyway, search for 2 more techniques. We search for another one of these, and then let's get rid of something from our deck. This card. Equip aerial kick. Let's discard 2, draw 2. Okay, there we go. Now, let's see, did this cost any spirit energy? No, we ain't spared any spirit energy yet. Okay, great, we got a hero out, so we go down to 6 spirit energy, play Karama's Last Stand, draw 3 cards. 3. This is actually pretty good. Okay, go down to 4 spirit energy. Let's see, make sure I have enough for this. Rubber Slam the Forlorn of Hope. Use the Forlorn of Hope. Search for Overwhelming Kill. And then use the Rubber Slam. So we take 2 points of damage. Search for, I don't know, Face Sensui. Make sure I have enough spirit energy. Okay. Play the Faces Sensui. Play the Overwhelming Kill. Equip the combo pieces. Let's see, put this on our next guy. And then our attack is free thanks to the Ultimate Sacrifice. Attack for 4 points of damage. And then after we kill our opponent, our cards go to the discard pile. And this goes in the winner's circle. Rando comes into play. We use the 5 spirit energy we gained for the Faces Sensui to pay for spirit protection. Our opponent can't attack on their next turn. We won match 1, pass. They go, they can't attack because of spirit protection. We go up to 7 spirit energy, go up to 9 spirit energy. And then yeah, that's kind of how that goes. Now we have hand knowledge, so this is what I was on my hand. We'd look at our opponent's hand, decide if we need to keep this halt. We probably would, but let's just say for sake of simplicity we don't. I use Rando's effect again. Search for 2 more techniques. Get an aerial kick and a scatter shot. Okay. Now, things could get interesting right here. So, yeah, now we're about done with this test play, but basically we can equip the scatter shot. Yeah, there's a lot of options I could do at this point. It just depends. But yeah, you can basically see how this goes. And then let's just say for somehow, I don't know, we lost this match for some reason, though it looked like we could probably take out all of everything. Next match would come up. Genkai would enter the play. Search our deck for a technique for the team bonus. I'm running out of techniques. Let's get that meditate on. Oh yeah, and Perfect activates, I get a technique from the discard pile. I would get Piercing Beam. Sorry. So equip both those. Gain some crazy spirit energy. Draw. Draw. Equip Devastating Combo. Use Gale Force. And then attack twice for, yeah, that's how that goes. Now this is a very risky deck. Now we are having to win in 5 turns, so if I did have to rely on Naruto, things would be looking pretty bad. I do need to win 3 matches in a row. That's why I play the Spirit Protections. So yeah, it would be if we didn't win this match here and we had to keep going, it'd be a little rough here, I'm not gonna lie. Because we actually do not play a 5th character in this deck, just because we don't need it. We should easily be able to combo the first 3 wins, but again, this is Hakusho, anything can happen. We probably win on or lose on the first turn anyway. But yeah, that's my Genkai deck. Some basic combos on how that works. I am building a couple other decks here. Let me just quickly go over the Team Genkai deck here, just in case you want to see all the cards again. There's some cards I took out here, like Tiny Guardian. First time you read this card, you think it's like a trillion times better than it is. Techniques don't leave the arena when the fighter switches with another. So you're like, oh cool, my techniques just stay out there forever. No, it's if you win or lose the match, your techniques go bye-bye. The other card would be Improved Defense, which says you can't techniques can't be discarded, which is good with Rubber Slam because you can get 2 of those out. But I took that out too. I took Flyby out just because it was too slow during your draw phase. Put the bottom card of your discard pile in your deck. If you have the Team Genkai bonus, if it's a technique, add it to your hand. It's really good for maintaining card advantage, but the game is just too fast for that technique to ever really do anything. I took a lot of the draw phase techniques out just because, again, the game is so fast. Like, you need to just go bam, bam, bam and win right there. This card is an interesting card. Let's talk about this one first, actually. Spirit Blast, -1 to your attack cost. There's a couple times like when I would use the Scatter Shot. That's why I pretended like I lost that match, because Scatter Shot costs 2, and we'd have to discard cards to use that attack. If we have this equipped, then Scatter Shot would be free, so this is a pretty good one. And then this technique, I have never used this technique, so I don't really know how it works. You can use this attack during your draw step. Now, I know I just said like draw step stuff is weak, but getting an extra attack off, that seems pretty good. I've never really used it. Now, it's really low attack, it does cost 2. So you may actually end up having to discard 1 to use the attack, unless you have the Spirit Blast, the one I just showed before this. My question is, if you have more than one of these equipped, can you use each of those attacks? Like, because there's no real rules for attacking in the draw step. Like, I'm pretty sure you cannot. Like, you can only use 1 Hasty Slash during your draw step. But what if you Rubber Slam and copy the Hasty Slash? Like, can you use both of them then? Like, I don't know. I didn't use that combo in this deck because it's a confusing combo. But yeah, that's basically my Genkai deck. Thanks for checking out this deck profile. I'll be making a Saint Beast control deck coming up soon. And then one of my classic favorite decks besides Genkai was just a double attacker deck, which was really fun. I didn't really play too many of the FTK decks. I mean, don't get me wrong, I did play them in 2005 era, which was, if you weren't winning on your first turn, you weren't playing the right game. But 2004 Hakusho was a little bit better. It is kind of fun to check out some of these alliance cards and not use a first turn kill deck. So that's definitely kind of cool. But other than that, yeah, I got a couple more of these decks. I don't actually have the cards for them yet, but I am in the works of getting them. So this deck is basically all thanks to Magical Yada on Discord. So shout out to Magical Yada for getting these cards. And again, the meditate definitely was a homie for that one, even though it's a damaged meditate. Meditate was like the only technique I never owned when I played this game, and I was all about techniques because I was all about Genkai, so it really bugged me never having one of these. I am looking to pick up another one, a non-damaged one, just for the collection. Yeah, you can see damaged, but yeah, this is like a $40 to $80 card. Anyway, Team Genkai, Yu Yu Hakusho deck. I will be out of here and be back again soon with some Hakusho deck profiles. Obviously, like I said in my update video, I'm still doing speed duels, just not really interested in the current format, but might come up again. So other than that, Brockit out. Later, guys.